Justin Timberlake, movie star. Britney Spears, annoyed. You're watching Beyond the Trailers review of In Time.
You put enough time in the wrong hands, you upset the whole system. Let's hope so.
If this works, we gotta get more.
I can help you get all the time you want.
You know we're coming to get you. His crime wasn't taking time. He was giving it away.
Nobody likes it when they're trumped by an ex. And while there was once a time that dating Britney was a step up for Justin, today that seems like a very long time ago. But as Timberlake gets closer and closer to legitimate movie star status, he's not just showing up Britney, but pretty much anyone to ever grace an album cover. David Bowie couldn't make the transition, neither could Mick Jagger, Madonna, or Beyonce. Yes, not since Cher has a singer transitioned to film with such success. And remember, hybrids from the start like Frank Sinatra, Bette Midler, Will Smith, and Jennifer Lopez don't count. So, what makes Justin so special? The 1-2 punch of Saturday Night Live and The Social Network. With SNL, the comedy showcase helped to prove that Justin could not only laugh at himself, but make others laugh, and producers took notice, much like they did for The Rock when he first hosted. Then it was Timberlake's supporting role as Sean Parker in the Oscar-winning The Social Network, which gave him legitimacy within Hollywood. The potent combination of both commercialism and artistic credibility have put Timberlake in the sweet spot. All he has to do now is not mess it up. In Time is a sci-fi pick which imagines a world full of 25-year-olds and is the kind of movie which gives heartthrobs and it-girls the chance to prove they're real actors as they portray characters with more gravitas than the usual 20-something roles. Question is, are actors like Timberlake, Amanda Seyfried, Alex Pettyfer, Olivia Wilde, and Johnny Galecki up to the task? It would sure help to have a strong director in their corner, yet instead they have Andrew Niccol, who appears to be delivering more of the same. In fact, Timberlake seems to be channeling Jude Law here. And just ask Chris Rock. Nobody wants to channel Jude Law. So let's go find out if Justin is still on track with In Time or if his luck has run out. So today we're doing another BTT Crew review, this time for In Time.
I thought this movie was all right. It was kind of a mix between like Bonnie and Clyde meets Robin Hood meets Hollywood action movie.
It was pretty good. It had a really cool premise, and it was the first maybe third of the movie was really interesting.
Then it started to fall apart. The movie abandoned all character development. It abandoned, any social commentary, except for very diatribes.
It seemed like it was unplanned what happened once he got all of his time. I didn't really understand, the character's main objective.
There's a couple of scenes sort of back to back where one is the entire scene is bathed in green light, and the other scene is completely yellow. I thought that was cool. I thought they were going to keep doing that, but then after that, they just sort of. It seemed like the art direction just kind of went out the window.
Choices were made for the ease of filmmaking behind the scenes rather than the story. It's like everything that takes place in an industrial Los Angeles, because we can clear that out.
I usually am a big fan of sci-fi movies. I also agree. I think that they struggled to kind of maintain the reality that they created in the movie.
I think that I knew this movie was going to be a problem as soon as it started, because the first line basically is, I never even bothered to figure out how this world came to be.
For a premise that completely defies all accepted science and biology, you really have to explain it a little better than that.
I think there was a cool concept here, perhaps, but I just don't think it was very well done. I thought Daybreakers was a better movie. That's a better sci-fi movie where they built a world where vampires are the regular people, and that was cool. So I think it can be done. I just don't think that it was done well here.
Well, I did actually for some reason, I thought that some of the car chase scenes were kind of exciting. A lot of the action scenes I thought were pretty good. There were a lot of questions that kind of went unanswered that kind of, at first I was like, whatever, but then they kind of get under your skin after a while.
And there were just things in this movie that were kind of sloppy. I thought everyone was so cavalier with their time, and people would splurge and treat themselves when they had 2 minutes left, or an hour. Like Olivia Wilde's character, I felt I felt really sad. I really felt bad for her, but I felt she was just so careless with her time.
I thought it was too long, maybe at least by half an hour. So I was enjoying it for most of the way through, and then after a while I was just like, okay, let's go, let's end this.
There were a couple times that I was like, I could stop watching this now and I think I'd be okay. I don't think the movie ever redeemed itself. There was nothing at the end.
I thought the performances from most of the actors were really good. I thought Amanda Seyfried was kind of flat, but I thought Justin Timberlake, and all the other leads did a really nice job in this role, in this movie.
Justin Timberlake did a really nice job. I think he really excels at playing like a nice guy. He came across really nice. I think he handled his action scenes well. You know, he's able to act. You know, they say a lot of acting is reacting, and I think he's a good reactor.
Justin Timberlake's character and his mom and Olivia Wilde they had a good chemistry. I thought it was a better chemistry than with his love interest for the film. So I would have rather seen a story about him and his mom rather than him and this random rich girl he meets who is very bland and kind of looked like a snake.
Amanda Seyfried, you know, I've enjoyed her in other things, but I thought the women's roles in this movie were, you know, very offensive. They were ridiculous. They made no sense. They were just kind of like objects to be there.
I mean, I would recommend this movie if you're just looking for a casual theater movie. I mean, I don't think it was the best thing, but it was entertaining for the most part.
I feel bad. I feel like Hollywood is continuing to suffer from the idea of creating a great trailer and a fun premise, but then they just don't take the time to see it all the way to completion in a quality manner. I think they could have made a good movie here, but for some reason, you know, it's like they're like, good enough, and you know, we got close. It's pretty good.
If you're going to see this movie just because the trailer was cool, I wouldn't, because it really doesn't live up to how cool the trailer is.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I think I would give it a 6.
I'd give it like a 6.
I would give this movie a 5.